Welcome back to another episode of the Jurassic Thoughts podcast, our last one of the month of February. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm battling a cold right now, but me and Dan, we keep grinding out here. I mean, it's part of the game. Dan, how's it going, buddy?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I had an interesting dinner last night. I don't know if I told you.
I don't think you have.
No. I'm not sure if you're familiar. For our Torontonians, there's a spot downtown called Au Noir. Essentially, you eat in pitch black.
Okay, yeah. So you told me you were going to this, but I haven't heard the recap yet. Yeah, I remember this now.
No, it was great. You go, it's a 3-course dinner, and you get a starter, which is either surprise seafood, surprise meat, or a surprise veg. And then you get a surprise entree or a filet mignon, risotto. There's a few different options. And then the desserts are, pretty standard, like ice cream, butter tart. There's a surprise dessert, which ended up just being a nice blueberry cheesecake. I think, so the server that you have is visually impaired, and that's the essence of the dinner, is to develop an appreciation for people that are able-bodied and have all 5 senses. Eating in the dark was quite the experience. It was pitch black. I went with a friend, and we were trying to make each other taste each other's meals, and in the process we ended up walking out and seeing each other with a bunch of food on our faces because we just couldn't see anything. We almost spilt my beer, and she almost spilled her wine, so it's quite the experience. I think I would do it again. The food was actually very good. But highly recommend to anyone who's in Toronto and wanting to shake things up for a dinner. So
you heard it here, guys. Au Noir in downtown. When you told me about that, I don't know if that like it's an interesting premise, but personally, I don't know if I'd enjoy eating in the dark. But I mean, if you said the food was decent, like it is an experience. I mean, you liked it. That's pretty much all. That's what's important, right? So that's great, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I've it's been sort of a quiet week, obviously on my end. Been back to class full time, but yeah, just been under the weather. I sort of got sick right before the OKC game, so unfortunately they couldn't help it all. The Raptors with getting me through this, and 2 shitter games in a row. I know we also had our fantasy trade deadline in our basketball league. Do you want to tell the listeners the plan you and Sam concocted, or no?
The standard plan that happened that you did last year?
To split the money 50-50 after the year.
Oh, so the plan you did last year, where you just traded your team for the top 3 picks, is kind of just.
I would argue the big difference.
Dissection of that, because obviously
I'd argue I wasn't in the chat saying, hey McGee, let's combine teams and split like you and Sam were. So
well, it's not a split if he's giving away his first 6 picks of next year, right?
Well, it kind of is, though, because if he runs the table and wins the league, then I'd heard 50% of those funds are going your way. So I'm just trying to sort everything out.
Can we not separate satire and what's really true? I mean, come on, Sam. How many times have we joked around on this podcast saying this and that, and
And honestly, it is so rich that Sam, of all people, did this trade when for a full year he's been bitching about that smart trade from both me and McGee's end from last year.
Yeah, because it worked out so well for Dodger this year.
Well, I mean, he did not set his lineup last year in the playoffs. Like, I can't do everything for him. But now that Sam is the pot calling the kettle black, that does make me happy. And right now we would match up in the first round, and I'm going to kick his ass because trades like that, they don't get rewarded with championships. I'll tell you that right now.
Perfect. So neither one of you is going to win a championship, Perfect. I guess, then. Okay. Lovely. I'm just hoping Rennie gets his money back. My money's on Rennie.
Rennie's a bitch, bro. I'm going to kick his ass. Anyway.
Love that guy.
let's talk some Raps, dude. So yeah, came back from the All-Star break. We were hoping to record before the Spurs game. Schedules didn't really line up, and it was a quick back-to-back, so we decided to go now. We have 4 games to sort of go over, and as always, we'll start chronologically. So on Feb 19th, Raps started the unofficial second half in Chicago. They won the game 110-101. I have some takes from this game. I've told you a couple, but what were your first sort of thoughts about the Bulls game?
It was a harder win than what it needed to be. Like, I think we were in control most of the game, but with a team like the Bulls that has just whatever the fuck they did at the deadline, like what would you call that? Like copy and
The
paste.
Jerry
neutrality?
Reinsdorf special.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to only win, what was it, by 8 or 9? I don't.
9, 110-101.
Yeah, I don't feel super great about it. We still got the win, which is what matters. But I don't even think Giddey played, right? Like he was still out. They didn't have. I don't even think Ivy didn't play.
I thought Giddey did play. Yeah, Giddey played.
There?
He played 21 minutes and didn't really do anything.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Scotty and Bi were a little tired from the All-Star break, but
Well, Bi balled, dude. Bi had 31, 8 and 6. Didn't shoot amazingly, but I mean that's still I'll take that game every time.
yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't have much to say when we beat these like mediocre teams and it's not by a great margin.
Exactly.
So I don't feel
yeah.
a win's a win and it goes towards our tally of those 39 that we're looking for. But I don't feel fantastic about it the same way you wouldn't feel fantastic beating up any sub 500 team in the East.
So one of the things I've already mentioned to you, and I'll stand by it, is like I have enjoyed covering the Raps with you this year. I've loved it, honestly. I've never like watched a team's full season like without missing a minute. This is the first game where I was like this feels more like a chore than actually enjoyment watching a fucking Raptors Bulls game. It was so poorly played. It was turnover central. It was just so gross to me. So I don't know, dude. Like I hate the Bulls' whole roster. Like part of it is like also trying to enjoy like the other team's players, right? Okay, like Giddey played 20 minutes back from injury and he didn't really do anything. Yeah, Bezelis is like mildly interesting, but like whatever. I don't know, dude. It really was a game. I was just like, ugh, like I just want this game to be over and to like move on, because like you said, we are at the point of the year where you got to play these tanking teams, and you need to get those wins. We're gonna play Washington tomorrow, and yeah, they're important, but at the same time as the viewing experience, it's just sometimes a tough one. I'd honestly rather those Spurs and Thunder games as a fan, even though we lost, than a sludge 9-point win against a team that is actively trying to lose with like no players I find that interesting at all.
Did Ivy didn't play in this one, right?
No, he didn't even play.
No.
Rob Dill did, so like I don't know what Billy Donovan's doing with the rotations, but I'm sure Kenny King of the Fourth, he's like, you know him, he's a big Bulls fan, and he's already like losing his mind with like some of the rotations from the trade deadline, because his whole thing has been like, play Ivy, play Dillingham, like play these young guards that you don't really know about, which is right. Like see what you have, and already Jaden Ivey's getting DNPs for I don't even know who. I guess a Coro. For Trey Jones. Like Trey Jones, really? Colin Sexton played. I kind of forgot he even got traded young here. RJ got a flagrant on Nick Rich. Like, yeah, Yabusele. Jeez, man.
Pussy.
Honestly.
You know who I actually kind of
But yeah.
I don't know when they acquired him, but I think it was the beginning of this year. But Isaac Okoro. He's actually piecing together a decent year.
I don't know, bro. He's like whatever. Maybe it's a little unfair because he's the 5th overall pick, so he's sort of attached to those expectations. But already on his second team, like 4 years into his career as a 5th overall pick, like to me, dude, you got traded for Lonzo Ball, who might not play again in the NBA, right? Like,
Yeah, but tricky
I don't know.
situation for him in Cleveland, man. Like getting drafted, they make the Donovan move shortly after. He's kind of in this like
Yeah.
spot. Like I'm not going to be starting or even getting like valuable minutes. So I don't know.
I guess.
He's
I
still
don't
young.
know. He's like fine.
He's been okay. He's been okay on Chicago for the year. So
The one main take I have from this game, and I've teased this to you throughout the week, I really am watching Anthony Simons and thinking, would he look really nice as a Raptor in 2026-2027 season after the summer? He's a free agent after this year. And the reason I say that is just the volume three-point shooting, especially shooting off the dribble. We really have, I guess you can kind of say quick, but he's like the only one. I think the fit, like him to swap into the RJ spot would make sense. I know we have some Jacoby thoughts for next season that we'll get into today as well, but I did look at Simons and just think this type of player, and this is sort of the player we advocated to try and get at the deadline, like a spark plug shooter. We didn't get one. Simons likely will be priced out of our range because I assume he'll be in the 20 to 30 range, maybe like low 20s. But I do like that type of player. I do think would have a fit on our team, and something I thought about watching him in this game.
I think low 20s.
What do you think? What do you think on that? Well, he's making a lot right now, dude. He's making like 28. So is he gonna lose like $8 million a year?
But remember, like that deal was signed when he was the main guy on Portland, and Portland had to pay someone. So
I know.
he kind of fell into the place with that. Like,
I'd be shocked if he's under 20. I'd be shocked.
Really, I'm pretty confident he'll be under.
Yeah.
Like what he offers is definitely sought after in the league, which is volume shooting. But he's also pretty ball dominant, and that's why maybe the Celtic fit didn't work as well as they were hoping for.
Honestly, like, and I know you and I listen to Bill, but like he had nothing but sort of positive things to say about Simons. I know a lot of people were like, this is a guy who doesn't really play defense, but he'll shoot the shit out of it. So Boston, it does and it doesn't make sense. I don't know if that Vooch trade, we'll see how that trade sort of pans out for them. I don't know, dude. Like Simons, I think when he signed with Portland, obviously overpaid, and you're like, oh, like sort of shy away from that number. But as like a low 20s guy, I don't know. I think it's an interesting player type, especially for a team like us who's so starved for outside shooting.
But aren't we seeing now with like how teams are structuring their payroll? You know, whatever 60-70% of it is going to the top 2-3 guys. And then these $20-30 million contracts are becoming more and more rare just because the structure of the cap isn't really permitting that. So, like, for someone who would be, like, the Pirtle contract, $20 million, like, last year, let's say he was fully healthy and, like, we can kind of buy ourselves in a little bit into that. That's probably one of the last of its kind of, like, those types of contracts. Because someone, like, well, the $20 million deals because, well, just, like, $20 million, $25 million, like, those guys are kind of hard to nailed down because there has to be a compromise on one end or the other, whether it's going to be overpay for the guy, which is obviously what happened in Portland with Simons, or you're like the guy is in a weird spot where he doesn't want to get long-term money, but he wants maybe like a Bruce Brown 22 and a half. I just like Jaylen Brown, the $60 million contracts. I think once a guy like Cade's going to get something like that when the Pistons sign him, and I just think once those start becoming more and more prevalent, just with the way, you know, like obviously you know much more about the cap than I, but like the second apron and all that stuff works. That's kind of, it feels like that's the shift of the cap now. So these contracts, it's hard. You maybe get one $25 to $30 million guy, and then everyone else has got to be below 15, more or less. So it depends how you want to do it. Like in our case, like BI's 40, Quickly's like the low 30s, RJ's right at 30, and then we have that $20 million Pirtle one. So like, I guess in reality it could work with us, and then RJ's expiring next year, so we can figure something out in the off season. But is our move to get Simons and then nothing else? Which I think would be an upgrade.
See, if that's,
we would get better.
Yeah, but if that's the only move, to me it's like pointless, to be honest. I think it's a marginal upgrade. I do think it helps, but going from RJ to him, bro, like, I don't know that. What, are we gonna jump into the top 3 in the East with, like, fuck no, we're not, dude. So,
but who's available?
It's a big summer for Bobby. Well, that's the thing, dude. But like
it's a 2-year.
But we always see, man. Yeah, but we always see like there will be teams that disappoint in the playoffs, and then that sort of starts the friction into shaking stuff up. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, right now we've sort of gone through the shit teams, and and it's sort of like the trade deadline just happened. So anyone who didn't get traded, those teams sort of say we're not interested in moving them. I think the next sort of layer of people who come available will be the flameouts in the playoffs that teams are just sick of at this point. Like, I'm not saying Karl Anthony Towns for us, but like,
Well, that's
if the
what I was
Knicks
gonna
flame
say.
out
Yeah.
and the Towns thing it goes up in flames again, like that'd be one I'd look at. Not Raptors wise specifically, but just that type of situation.
I agree.
Last things on the Bulls game. CMB started over Yak, so we're still trying to get Yak conditioning wise. I know I have a take about the Spurs game with Yak. It's very positive, which is nice to see. BI was great. Jacoby, great bench minutes again. In terms of stats from the game, Rap shot 42%, as did the Bulls. Both teams shot 30% from three. The Raps had 10 more free throws than the Bulls, so looking at the final score, that pretty much decided the game. Everything else was pretty even, man. Like the Bulls had 23 turnovers to the Raps 14, and the first quarter was just a comedy of errors by the Bulls, man. Like that's why I was kind of like the classic quote about like bad football makes my skin itch. Like it's just like the same thing here. Like yes, I like winning, but like I like beating good teams. Like beating these shit teams is just sort of like expected, and it is what it is. You have anything Bulls left, or are you good to move on?
Yeah, no, I'm good to move on.
Also, the little story attached to the box score is Bulls Billy Donovan provides info, but little clarity on Jaden Ivey benching. So there you go. It's always a great time to be a Bulls fan, man. Jeez.
But isn't it weird because I know he was injured in Detroit, but even like his spot in the rotation was always kind of like don't know if he's a starter, don't know if he's a bench guy, and it just like I don't know if this is going to be the theme for Kuminga in Atlanta as well, but it just feels like there's some guys around the league that are always bouncing around, and they just no matter where they go, there's always uncertainty of their minutes and like what's going to happen. You know,
Johnny Kuminga just dropped a 40 ball though, dude.
Did he?
Dropped a
I
40
didn't
ball
even
with
see.
Atlanta. Yeah.
I've been so
he
removed
did.
the past couple of days, man. Wow.
And then he posted some IG story like dissing Golden State, which is just perfect.
Yes, dude. Finally.
Yeah. So very funny situation. And
Nice.
you and I, when we went to that Warriors game, that his warm up, Dan, will forever live in my brain. Just watching that guy warm up, not giving a shit about the Warriors anymore, was very fun to watch.
I
Okay.
gotta check that out.
Moving on. Yeah. Wraps on Feb 22. We're in Milwaukee. No Giannis, but the Bucks actually were hot coming into this one. I believe they had won 6 of their previous 7. Sort of scratching and clawing for some reason to stay in the play-in. That's a strategy we can debate at another time. Raps kicked their ass 122-94. Scotty was out for personal reasons, so no Giannis for Milwaukee, but no Scotty for us. What were your first sort of takeaways from the Milwaukee game?
Mamu had a great game against his former team. I noticed that.
Yeah, it was Mamu revenge
It
week,
was-
dude. The Spurs too, both of his teams.
Yeah, exactly. Although the Spurs game could have been a bit better, but solid.
I just mean just his former
yeah.
teams.
Yeah. It's a reassuring win, like you said, because the Bucks were actually hot, and I don't know. They're obviously not trying to tank because they don't have their own pick. So
Okay, but they do. They kind of do though. So like, it still behooves them to lose. They have the swap. They get their pick, dude. Their whole selling point to Giannis is we're gonna get a high pick, come back, and like we'll see. Like that's their whole thing, and I don't believe in it, but that's what they're selling to their fans.
Oh, is this because of the Pelicans trade? Oh, it is. I just realized that we talked about
Yes.
this. Oh,
And then
fuck, I
Atlanta snuck in,
completely
and they're
forgot they
involved
do.
too with
Yes.
New Orleans' side of it. But yeah, Milwaukee,
Oh,
it
shit.
they should be
We
trying to
literally talked
lose.
about this. I forgot.
Them,
Yeah, no.
them
Yeah,
scratching and clawing to get into the plan is something else. But anyway,
Well, now Giannis is like maybe coming back. I don't know whatever.
I
Anyways,
think I said last pod, I'm done with his whole back and forth thing with like wanting out and
Being
wanting in.
competitive.
Like whatever
Yeah, okay.
Giannis, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, convincing win without Scotty, which is good. Quickly balled the fuck out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Sam? Thank God I didn't take that apology back, because it feels like he's been, dare I say, like our third best player with certainty since like that little when he hit the game winner. I think he built so much momentum off that. He had like a
His
not a bad.
consistency has really improved.
It's gone better.
I
It's gone
think.
so much better, and
Yeah.
he's just a reliable guy now for scoring, for playmaking a little bit. I wish he actually had more touches down the stretch.
Of this
even
game?
No, not this one, but like even in the.
Oh,
in
you
the
just of the
Spurs game-
season.
Of the season,
gotcha.
yeah, because I'm sure we'll get into it with Darko's play calling against the Spurs, but of what I've seen recently for kind of crunch time for close games, he's been way more selective and like with the ball, which is good, because before he would just like in transition just take 40-footers, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? RJ was pathetic, dude. that
We're
was
gonna get
actually the
into
first
him,
thing.
but
That was the first thing that jumped out at me. I don't know if he's still injured.
yeah.
I don't know if like.
No, he's not. I don't think.
I'd love to give him any sort of mitigating circumstance to justify why he's playing the way that he is, but other than maybe it's just not the fit's not right there. Yeah, man. I liked Jacoby didn't.
We're
shoot
gonna
out,
get-
but
yeah.
I liked what he did defensively in this game. I thought he was pretty good.
Yep.
So
I have RJ
Anyways,
takes, but I'm gonna sort of wait for them until OKC and the Spurs. Yeah, dude, Quick was awesome. I kind of have this new theory because you know how I've said I think Quick taking floaters is one of the worst in the league from like
the free throw. line?
like starting point guards. I think he's one of the worst. But on the other hand, dude, he has been so good with his left. This like maybe I'm just noticing it this week because he's been using it a lot. But I swear to God, every time he goes to his left for a layup, he gets it. So now I'm starting to think, okay, Quick, shoot your jumpers with your right. But now I'm like, every time you go in the lane, don't even try the right hand. Just keep with the left. Yeah. I swear, dude. Every time I notice it, and then he'll come down the next time, take like an easy floater and brick it. That's just something I'm monitoring. Yeah, he was awesome, man. Especially with Scotty out, it was great. He took the bulk of the offense. BI was fine, like 22 and 6. That's pretty much what he's averaged all year. And then Shed and Mamu with some nice games off the bench. I thought Yak, this is the first game I noticed. I thought he was moving a bit better. Didn't really show up in the line. He had 6 and 8. But I for him, I'm really just trying to watch health stuff and like watch how he's moving around. I thought it was noticeable. And we're going to build on that because obviously the Spurs game, I think, was his best of the year. I know I texted you that. But yeah, it was good to see him moving around. But yeah, man, like it was awesome kicking the shit out of Doc Rivers. It was awesome kicking the shit out of noted asshole Kevin Porter Jr. Don't check if he's on my fantasy team. I feel bad about it, but fuck that guy. Yeah, man, they're just they're just a shit team. Cam Thomas with 15 off the bench. Guzzi tried to offer me Cam Thomas for like Buzelis late last night before the trade deadline ended.
take that?
I immediately countered with Buzelis for Şengün. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, don't even try and sell me on Cam Thomas.
I think Guzzi thinks everyone is less smart than he is when it comes to trades, dude. He offered me something like Cam Tom for Jaden McDan way back when. And I was like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude, just a shit kicking, which is good. I feel like we haven't had a blowout in a minute. We shot 47%. The Bucks were 41. We shot 35% from 3. The Bucks were 28, and free throws were only 4 difference. In terms of other notable stats, we had 27 points off turnovers to Milwaukee's 8. It was just like we ran away sort of after the first quarter. They outscored us by 5, but after that we ran away with the game. And again, this is a team who's not trying to lose, so definitely enjoyable and a solid win in a city that we've had rivalries with in the last half decade. So always good be winning in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. And just on the quick note, like as you were mentioning him, I think before a big thing, Sam, it's not even like he needs to average a bunch of points. I think it was his efficiency was what bothered me a little bit before. And now his season average on the field is 45%. And for the amount of threes that he shoots, I think that's fantastic, man. Like, I think it's like 17, 4, and 6. His numbers are. That's pretty solid for what we're paying him. It could be a bit better.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
but
yeah,
he's shooting above average, league average for 3 points. 45% for a small guard. Shooting a lot of threes is pretty solid for me by the field. Like by all accounts, I think it's excusable for what we're paying him. It's definitely coming into the season. I was so worried about that contract and his efficiency and how it's going to pan out. And honestly,
and we've had moments when we've been freaking out about it. So yeah.
But as of recent, we're this far through the year now, and being at 45%, his play as of recent has been really good. Like I feel much better about it because that was. I don't know. I'm sure we talked in previous pods. We were always saying quickly, RJ, Jakob, like the 3 guys we got to address, get out, and now he's kind of solidified himself as like that 3 with Scotty and BI.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. It's nice that he's kind of built on the momentum of this season.
Oh, if he was making, if it was 10 million less, it'd be a steal of a contract. If it was 5, that's probably on par. Well, I'd say 5. Like, if he's making 27 a year, that sort of... Yeah. Well, it'd be 27. He's making 32, I think. So I think that would line up a bit. So, you know what? If he's only $5 million a year overpaid, you can live with that. He's barely missed any games. His consistency's gotten a lot better. I'm excited to see what he can do in a playoff series. I feel like I sort of know what BI is going to do. Scotty... I just feel like Scotty's defense his floor is going to be solid no matter what. Quick and I feel like I kind of know what the RJ experience is going to be, sadly. But I am interested to see what Quick can do in a playoff matchup for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if Quick's hit his prime yet either. I think he can still get a little bit better.
It's probably close.
27.
I don't know his age, but 27?
27?
Yeah. He's a couple more years. Yeah. Do you have anything else Milwaukee game, or do you want to go on to the sort of meatier games? Okay. Yeah, me too.
I just hope we were like Durko was trying to poach Miles, give him a little pitch while in timeouts.
Oh, God. All we have to do is, every timeout try and position Miles to sit next to Kuzma, and then he'll be like, what the fuck am I doing here, and then want to leave. So
just try and get Kuzma to talk as much as he can.
Yes. Feb 24, the defending champs were in town. Sadly for Toronto fans, Shea was still out. I believe he just came back yesterday, so good for him to be back. I know his absences got the 65-game minimum rule up in conversations again about if it's working or if it's fucked, and we're going to get some crazy MVP because him and Jokic won't qualify. But if he stays healthy the rest of the year, it should be okay. Thunder won 116-107. What were your first thoughts from this one?
I was working during this one. I rewatched it back, but I was working during the live of this, and I just caught the last bit of the fourth quarter, and I was just so frustrated while I was working, visibly upset, and I just couldn't. Oh man, it's just it was right in the palm of our hands for most of the game. It was right there, No,
it wasn't. Dude, we got the shit kicked out of us in the quarter 2 and 3.
Okay, but in the fourth quarter, in the fourth quarter, we were coming back. We also led after the first quarter, which made me feel pretty good about it. It was, I just think we were right in the game, and I know they're missing Jay Will, they're missing, or Jay
Shea,
rather. Shea, obviously. And we were, fully healthy, but it's how do we not win this one? We're at home. I don't know, man. There's not really someone you can
because they have championship habits in close games, and we have the opposite of that. That's why.
Okay, one thing I noticed though, Sam, and I know this is a running theme, with a talk around the league and stuff like that. They do get away with a lot of physical defense, more than I know they have cred and whatever.
Of course,
but it's sometimes it's okay, man. Lou Dort is fully grabbing.
For sure. I respect Lou. He's Canadian, and I respect that he's built a career off it. But there was this one play I think in the fourth when he's guarding BI and fouls him he's fouling him 3 times. They're in the corner, and then BI swings the ball across his chest, and Lou snaps his head back and falls down, and it's just I know this is your game. But fuck, that is a frustrating call. They didn't call it offensive. Luckily, they actually called a foul on Dort. But yeah, it's part of his whole thing. We should note Yak did not play in this game. He's still not cleared for back-to-back, so he played the Spurs game, so we didn't have him. Yeah, we got off to a nice start, like you said. We were up 7 after the first quarter, and then got outscored by 25 in the following 2. So just get absolutely boat raced in the middle 2 quarters. We did make a valiant comeback in the 4th, but I mean, there are no such thing really as like moral victories in the NBA. So it was a spirited comeback that didn't amount to anything. We actually got the game tied. We were down by a lot. What was the largest lead for OKC? It was 25. So we were down by 25, and we got it back to tied with like 4 minutes to go. And as soon as we got it tied, OKC went on an immediate 7-0 run to sort of ice the game, and which included an RJ turnover off an inbounds pass, which really just blew my mind in anger. So that really pissed me off. RJ's stats for the game were okay at 21 and 8 on 8 of 15, but man, dude, I swear in crunch time, I don't want to always point to him, but after the Thunder and the Spurs games, I texted you like I am, and I think Bobby is as well, but the RJ experience, he'll get his one Toronto playoff run this year, but then it's like, thank you for your service. I really like him. He's Canadian, dude. He loves being here, but it is just I'm pretty much good on the whole RJ gameplay after this year.
Yeah. Not sure if you mentioned this. We shot horribly from the line. Don't think it made a huge difference. Each team only got 12 free throws. So
each team only got 12 free throws,
I know.
dude.
So that's why,
Crazy.
like with the whistle, it was pretty even. Although I think they got the better end of the whistle because they're initiating more contact and more physicality. Which again, we have to go into this game expecting that because they do have cred. They're the defending champions. Love Jacoby's minutes, dude. Like the more I see,
I had that in my minutes.
Even his bad games, I can still find things that I like, which is a good sign. And dude, and this was a weird one because again, 12 free throws for each team. It just feels like there's always at least 4 or 5 free throws that BI should have gotten that he doesn't get in a game, and it's because he doesn't like whine. Like I respect him for not whining, but at the same time, you got to play the game a bit. You got like that's what every other guy who's a number 1 scorer on the team.
Yeah,
do.
but we also complain. We complain about those guys though, like the Brunsons. We complain about the Lucas. We complain. I know, dude. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
I hate that.
I get it.
Like, I hate that. That's what's deciding some of these calls. You know, if you whine and bitch, it's just fucking annoying. No one wants to win like that.
We should note, Scotty played out of his fucking mind in this game. He had 15 and 7, but 7 stocks, 3 steals and 4 blocks. So that was awesome. Just such a defensive force. But then you look at BI, 15, 6 and 6, which is just, to be honest, against these great teams, that looks okay. But that's not enough. You know, like if that's the games we're getting in the playoffs, Dan, it's gonna be what we think, which is like maybe a spicy 6-game exit in the first round. You know, like. BI has to up his average. He's averaging, I think, 22 points. Against the good teams, that's got to go up. And I know, like, against the good teams, they have the defenders to throw at him. Like, Lou Dort was on him, and they'll double him. I know the Spurs game, they double the shit out of him. But 15 points is just not good enough to beat these really good teams, especially when Scotty is so focused defensively. You got to be the guy that is a bit selfish and hunts for his stuff a bit more, in my opinion.
Definitely. Well, that's the thing, Sam. And I think because we're having success now and BI is a large part of it, we're not, and it's the first year of this team. There's nothing bad to say about it, but I can see for the future this becoming an issue as him as our one. So
it's interesting you say that because I know some of Rap's Twitter was like mad after the Spurs game, BI wise, and it's interesting because I don't think he could have had a much better season. Like he's been healthy and he's an all-star. Yeah, you might want him to average a couple more points, but I really, in terms of like coming off 19 games last year, I think we would have taken this, 10 times out of 10. But then you also notice what is the ceiling with the Brandon Ingram first option offensive team? You know, like I think we're gonna run into that wall in the playoffs. And we just signed him. Like it's been a successful year, but that's what I'm saying, man. It's gonna be really interesting the Bobby summer because. Yeah, he'll get the playoff like sample size to really see what works and what. But honestly, Dan, like we have watched 60 games of this team now. I think we have a pretty educated guess about what might happen in a Cleveland against any East team because we can't beat the top 3 teams in either conference. I think we know what might happen in a first round series. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm interested to see the Ingram stuff there because I want to be wrong with what I think is going to happen on his end.
Yeah, and dare I say that there's a trade similar to the DeMar-esque with Kawhi. The thing is, Sam, I don't even think BI has been as good as like DeMar was good when he was on our team. DeMar was like a top.
I think DeMar averaged like 28 points,
scorer.
dude.
Yeah, he was. Well, he almost 30 a game that 1 year. I think the year before he got traded. Like, he was a legit fucking scorer. And BI's a great scorer. Don't get me wrong, but DeMar knew how to exploit the free throw game. BI does not do that. DeMar couldn't shoot threes. BI.
Yeah.
Like, they're both, dude. And DeMar was like superior in athleticism. It's hard to say one way or the other.
But
I think DeMar actually is the better player of the two at their peaks. So far,
I would counter and say their playoff limitations seem to be very similar. And DeMar was awful in the playoffs. Yes, he was.
Well, dude, DeMar led us to an Eastern Finals against LeBron and ended up stealing 2 games from Cleveland. So like that alone is like far more better than anything BI
for sure.
Done.
That's fair.
Couple first round bounces with New Orleans or one, whatever it was. I don't know. It's hard to get ahead of it because we've already committed money to him, and I don't think there's going to be insert disgruntled guard
market.
Yeah, exactly. Where we don't.
No, I think the move's going to be RJ for sure, and then we're going to see what Bobby can cook up, right? Like, because I think Ingram is like I don't know if they're motivated to move him, and B, a market with another 3 or 4 years with him. We'll see. Same with Quick and Pirtle. So it's. We'll see what Bobby can do, dude. But, I think I'm very curious to see the Ingram playoff experience. He's had one playoff series when he's been awesome and one when he's been really bad. I think the Suns series he was really good and the Thunder series he was awful. So we're gonna see in a couple of months, dude. We're gonna see how it goes. My last note on this one. Yeah, sorry.
The BI contract is 3 years and then 2 years after this year, right? Wasn't a 4 year.
I thought. Yeah, that sounds kind of right, actually. Yeah, that sounds right. My last note, and Dan, I don't know how we haven't talked about this yet. Your boy Kayson Wallace just absolutely flamed us.
Yeah, he's a cooker.
27, 8 and 7 on 11 of 16 shooting. I wrote down what would Kayson cost in the summer. I'm guessing a lot. Well, I'm just saying the Thunder can't pay everyone. That's all I'm saying.
I think he actually is one of the guys they are going to pay, though. I know.
Well, they're going to lose Hartenstein, so he'll be gone.
For sure, they're losing iHeart, but with that money, they're going to sign Queso, and then I know they're probably going to unload either Isaiah Joe or A-Wig before they lose Queso.
Isaiah Joe also played well against us. Oh, you know that? You know he wants to stay?
He told me.
Talked to him?
Me and Queso.
Okay,
we
cool.
shared some Quesos, and he told me.
Yeah. Nice. So, yeah, man, just, spirited effort against the defending champs. The second and third quarter were so unserious. So, can't win games when you're outscored 25 in the middle quarters. Do you have anything else from this game?
No, but I am curious to see how Jerry McCain's going to fare with this team.
He played in the game he almost was getting the garbage time minutes. Yeah. No, when they brought him in, that's when we started to make our comeback because he was taking the shots and just missing. So I definitely liked when he came in, like for Raptors wise. Yeah. Not many if he did.
Well, all right. It's a short-term fix because the Shea injury and AJ.
Yeah. Last game. A game that really pissed, I know, both of us off. Spurs were in town. Wemby is in town. I know asked you, are you trying to go to that game? I think you were busy or something. And honestly, Wemby didn't really play that well, so, would have still been cool to see him, but you didn't really miss like a crazy Wemby game. Spurs won 110-107. Raptors had a huge collapse in the fourth quarter. What are your main takeaways from this one?
I know I feel like every ep at one of the games in the week is like I say, oh, it's so frustrating. But this one, Sam, really felt the most frustrating. It really felt the most frustrating because we had such a big lead to start the fourth. And like the thing you sent me too of like, why are we starting? What was it? CMB, Shed.
Okay.
Like, how are we opening the fourth with that lineup?
So Darko,
that's like the definition of not stepping on their necks when you have them down. Like they're like, oh, let's just let them get back in the game.
So in the fourth quarter to start, the group on the floor was CMB, Mamu, Shed, Walter, and RJ. Darko then came out and said Scotty was, quote, playing on one leg and was in constant communication telling us, oh, if you can, rest me now. I don't really know what that even means, to be honest. Like, he came in later and played. Sure. But yeah, that lineup is obviously just, what the fuck are we doing, to be honest? An RJ-led offensive unit is just, that's what's going to happen. The Toronto media was very critical about Darko. Then he said the Scotty thing. Who knows how true that was, but that was obviously what got San Antonio right back in the game and essentially won the game for them.
Even if that was true, okay, we don't play Scotty. Play IQ. Play BI. Like, how are you opening the?
Well, you can't play BI. He played the whole third quarter. You can't play BI.
Just any other scorer that's, like you said, not led by RJ on that unit. Like, anyone. There's no shooting. Like, Mamu, yeah, kind of, but he's not going to make his own shot. Like, who was supposed to run the... Yeah. Like, RJ's is facilitating there? Come on. I just... Whatever.
Yeah.
Just beside myself. I love the Yakin game, though. Fuck.
So, we'll get... Yeah, so... It was an awesome first quarter. It was very back and forth. Just like entertainment-wise, Spurs were up 30-29 after one. We couldn't get a stop. Devin Vassell just went nuclear this game. He was on fire. But we actually were scoring. And then, let's get into Yak. So... Yak was physical as fuck with Wemby, so some plays I remember and I want to highlight. BI's driving, Yak and Victor are like tangled up, and Yak is sort of holding his arm down. Should have been a foul on Yak. Wemby was pissed about it, but like he got away with it. Loved that. Immediately as they're going down, Wemby's still pissed. He drives at Yak, and Yak sort of blocking foul on Yak goes into him, and they both like they collide and both hit the deck. So he kind of gave him like, not like it wasn't cheap or anything, but like gave him a little like, no, I'm here. Like, you're not just gonna like go right by me. And then a couple possessions later, Yak is driving to the hoop like full speed. And just fucking collides with, like, shooting foul on Wemby, and they both go down. And the broadcast is like, oh, because it's two, like, 200, massive bodies. Huge human being just, like, colliding and going down. And I fucking love that Yak was, like, being physical with Wemby. I thought that, to me, his best game of the year. And it was just so enjoyable watching him, like, be like, nah, fuck this. Like, I know this guy's probably going to be a GOAT in the league, but, like, I'm a big guy too, and I'm going right at him on both sides of the ball. I just thought that was awesome.
Well, dude, there was a reason
by
why
far and away my favorite Yak moment of the year. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, dude, the guy was plus 18. He was the only guy that was like plus double digits on our team, or just even like more than like plus 2 or 3. I think the biggest thing was like we know that Yak's capable of something like that now, which kind of makes you feel a little bit better about like being selective with him in the playoffs. I honestly, maybe Sam, like coming, I know he played 28 minutes. He definitely played quite a bit. It doesn't really make a difference if he's starting or not, but like maybe he prefers the bench because it's less pressure. I don't know. Maybe it's a psychological thing.
Nah, I'd rather just him start. You're paying him so much money. Like,
so would I, but this was his best.
Should also note,
yeah.
CMB left this game once again because of his thumb. That thumb's going to be an issue the rest of the season until he can get surgery on it. So I think the return of Yak is even more pivotal for this season, at least. Should note, and I just wanted to, the Steph Castle, the guy we both like, airballed to free throw. So that was crazy, and it really infected the whole Spurs team. They were 13 of 23 from the line, including at the end of the game. I forget. I think Spurs were up 2, and Dylan Harper goes to the line and bricks both, and somehow gets his own fucking rebound. That obviously drove us crazy. And then we had to foul again. Fox goes to the line and missed 1, so we still had a chance to hit a 3 and tie the game. Obviously, it was an Ingram off the. It wasn't even close. He was in the corner fading off the backboard, and that was the loss
with glow in attendance.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I texted you with glow in attendance, sad face.
She's like,
so
"That's not my
funny.
man. That's not my man."
Oh my god. IQ at 20 on 6 to 12, BI 20 and 11 on 9 to 22. Scotty, pretty pedestrian, 15, 7 to 13, but he was guarding Wemby a lot, and Wemby had a terrible game. He was 3 for 12. Very entertaining game, but we were outscored by 15 in the fourth quarter in a game we lost by 3. Our largest lead of the game was 15, and I believe that was late in the third. So just another big collapse, and it's just we're just pounding the same drum, man. This is a team with a ceiling, and against the really elite teams, we are not on their level. We just aren't.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw this, if you caught the same thing that I did. It felt like we had no dimes this game. A lot of the buckets were either ISO buckets or cleanups at the rim. It felt like we had such.
We only had 17.
Assists. Yeah, I feel like that's not a lot. It felt like all the buckets were grimy, and not really sustainable. Not the buckets you want to be getting. You don't feel good about getting those in terms of running the offense or a testament to how good your offense is going. It was, I think there was 2 that I remember down the stretch. It was a tough mid-range by BI to, I think, either tie it or just to make us go up 2. This is with 3 or 4 minutes left. And then, mind you, this is when the Spurs were hunting us. After they went on that run to start the fourth, and then RJ got another one. It was some weird, Canadian step, Euro step, but it was a weird. It wasn't a Euro step. It was something weird. And it was a lucky kind of floater-esque type thing, and it was just those are not the buckets you want to be getting, especially in crunch time.
Right.
So I don't know. It didn't feel like a good. It felt like we were losing it right when it started to count. Right when it started.
And you could see it happening in real time. How much of a slog the offense was, and then you just knew that Harrison Barnes was going to hit that 3 in the corner, or Vassell was going to hit his 6th 3 of the game. You just knew it was slipping. As we were watching. So yeah, that sucks, dude. In terms of overall stats, they shot 47% from the field. We were 42. They shot 44% from 3. We were 35% from 3. We had 4 more free throws from them, and again, they missed 10. So that was sort of kept us in the game. We had 12 more points in the paint than they did, which is pretty funny with Victor there. But yeah, man, just we had them and we let it slip, and that's sort of been the theme. I think we're leading the league, and when we've had double-digit leads, we've lost. I think we have 5 on the year. Nice. I think that was the stat that came out, and I think we're leading the league in that. So yeah, just not great, and just sort of a microcosm about what happens to us when we play elite teams this year. Do you have anything else on the Spurs? Oh, one thing I did want to say, because we harp on BI not getting a call. Darko did get a tech in this game because BI took a 3 and one Spurs guy fell, so he was running back into the play and completely slapped BI's arm. No call. Darko went ape shit, got a tech. I love that. Sort of you've been harping on this more than me, but just how BI doesn't get the respect from the whistle. So do love that. It's a game we lost by 3, so that tech matters, but at a certain point you do have to stand up for your top scorer, and it was nice seeing him do that.
Yeah, no, dude, Darko's always been a player's coach, and I think we've seen that through the press, media, and all that. It's just sometimes the on-court stuff, man, it's like, what the fuck?
Do you have anything else from this game, or you want to preview?
It's preview.
All right. Raps 34-25, fifth in the East. We're 18th in offense, sixth in defense, 13th in net. Our only injury right now is CMB is doubtful for tomorrow with his thumb. I'm supposed to be at that game tomorrow with Raps. We'll see, health permitting, if I can get there. Tomorrow in Washington, who is 16-42, and who has 29, who's the 29th best offense, the 28th defense, and their 30th in net rating. Trey, D'Lo, AD, and Sar are out. I don't even know why I included D'Lo, but like I just saw him, so I threw him in there. And then Keyshawn George is questionable. So it's a team trying their best to lose. So again, got to have it. Because after that, we have the Knicks, once again, who are going, what, Dan, for their 11th straight win against us. Home against the Knicks, who is 37-22, who's third in offense, 11th in defense, and sixth in net. Their only injury is Deuce McBride, who is out, and I don't even know if we'd feel that much because they have added Alvarado since we last played them. And then after that, this is I should be in Florida for the next game for my spring break. The Raps are in Minnesota, who's 37-23, and who has the 10th best offense, the 8th best defense, and who is 9th in net rating, and they don't have any notable injuries. Give me predictions for the next three.
Win, loss.
We're stopping the Knicks streak?
I think this is it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that,
this is it. Dude, the Knicks they seem off. They seem off recently. I know we say that. I don't know.
That's what we literally said last time because there was all that like friction and they were unhappy, and then they kicked the shit out of us.
Yeah, but it's got to end at some point, Sam. So maybe I'm just saying that every time now. But
fuck it, I'll join you. I'll go. Also, we need revenge against the Wizards because the other time we came to Washington, they lit us up. Like we're 0-1 in DC this year. So we have to get the win tomorrow night. Hopefully I can be there, but if I'm feeling like today, probably not. I'll join you. I'll say we finally snapped the Knicks streak. A broken clock's right twice a day. We fucking do it. Minnie, I don't know, dude. Minnie's just a really solid team, and they have no injuries right now. And in Minnesota, I would probably take Minnie in that one as well. Do you have anything else to add, Dan, or are you good to get out of here?
I wanted to just ask you, what do you think about Scotty's Defensive Player of the Year chances?
I think he has a chance for sure. I think he's top three, like him, Wemby. Yeah. I mean, Gobert's always up there. I don't know where Wemby stands with the 65 game stuff, and I also don't know if I haven't seen it. I feel like I would have seen this on Twitter by now, but. You know, they have those bullshit stuff in the contract where if you win Defensive Player, your contract goes up by X amount.
Yeah.
So, like, if he has that, I obviously don't want him to get it, which sucks. Like, I hate that it's tied together. And I know, like, Zach Lowe, I'm pretty sure, has said, like, he stopped voting for the awards because he hated that it was, like, tied to their money. Yeah. And it sucks that as fans that I'm actively rooting against one of our players to, like, win a great award. But I'd rather the cap, so, like, it is what it is. I haven't seen that, so maybe there's nothing, but I definitely think he has a chance. That's how it was with Mobley last year. I definitely do.
Yeah. The only
exactly.
reason I ask is because, like, obviously, I don't think as Rudy's been fine. Stats haven't been as great as years in the past. However, I do think the third guy could be Jaden McDan. He's having an outstanding year, both offensively and defensively. But defensively, he's just a fucking menace, dude. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of his numbers, like the more advanced analytical stuff. It's fucked.
I know his on-ball stuff is really good.
It's crazy. So I'm thinking those are the top three. Mobley's been fine, but injured, and he's been a little bit asleep this year.
I don't know if Wemby, how many games he's missed, if he'll have enough to qualify.
I think Scotty. I think it's gonna be Wemby just because like team success, finishing second in the West from they were the 10th last year. That's gonna help a lot.
I mean, Scotty's leading the league in stocks, so like that helps him for sure.
Definitely. Wemby's played 45 games right now,
so he probably can't miss like any.
He can't miss a game. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting down the stretch. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else, dude, or you want to get out of here?
No, that's everything.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Me and Dan should be back after the Minnesota game. I'll be on my spring break, so we should have sort of scheduling stuff a bit easier. I will be down in Florida, but I'll obviously have my stuff with me. But yeah, if there's nothing else, not a big sort of let's end that Knicks streak this week, Raps. Like, why not get crazy and not make it 11 in a row and finally show OG that like we have improved a bit since he's left, because he's undefeated against us. But if nothing else, take us out, Dan.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you in the next one after a Knicks win. Over and out.
Over and out.